It's 14 minutes before 7 and a warm welcome back to Morning Live. Now, it is with great sadness that we had learned that the former Speaker of the Free State Legislature had passed away on the 1st of January 2017 due to ill health. Mme Mantsheng Anna Tshopo served in the South African legislative sector since 1994 to 2015. She designed and implemented a very unique development program that was aimed to empowering MPs and MPLs to effectively carry out their constitutional duties. Now, joining us this morning is Baleka Mbete, the Speaker of the National Assembly of South Africa. A very good morning to you, Madam Speaker. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you very much.
Talk to us more about Tsopo and what made her leadership different from the rest.
Well, I can only talk about her as a woman leader, a person of substance, a person who worked very well, because I'm here representing the Speakers Forum. In other words, the forum that brings the speakers of all the provincial legislatures together from time to time. And she was a very good player in the collective, which is something that we all encourage, so that we don't seek to be individuals more than we are part of collectives. And
right. Speaker
Tsopo was one of those cadres of the African National Congress, and therefore it is indeed with sadness that we remember her having worked among us, having been a leader, having been very, very exemplary.
Now, can you elaborate on her development program and just how successful was it?
Actually, at this point, you know, she has not been in the legislative sector for some years, and therefore other people have taken over. And as I say, because we work as a collective, we do, as a particular legislative body in the institution, in a particular province, have the details of what past speakers have done, because, you know, we come and we serve and we move on and other people take over. And when they take over the leadership in that particular institution, they leave it to the rest of those that are deployed at certain moments to take those issues forward, so that it's not as if it belonged to her alone. And as a good cadre of the African National Congress, she went on to be deployed in the executive in that province, because her skills and her knowledge and her leadership qualities were of such a nature that she worked very, very well, and she pushed herself and pushed the work and threw her energies into any task that she was given.
Sure. Now, Madam Speaker, apart from formulating the development program, what other changes did she bring about?
The one thing that we've always worked on as the legislative sector was the development of a piece of legislation that was enabling legislatures to manage their finances very well. While the executive had come up with what we call the PFMA, at a certain point, and former Speaker Mme Tshopo was part of this process, we came up with a piece of legislation called the Financial Management of Provincial Legislatures and Parliament Act. And right now, as we speak, even at National Parliament, we are able now to have a structure in each institution that's focusing on ensuring that we can pursue and we can ensure that the finances of that institution are spent properly according to the rules, according to what the budget had reflected us to be planning to use those finances. Because, you know, unless we are very strict with how we manage our finances, we will always have what we refer to as corruption charges or implications or you know, allegations all the time. And so she was part of evolving such a mechanism and such a piece of legislation, and therefore we really believe in her. We had a very, very strong person.
Right. And what can the current Speaker in the Free State Legislature learn from Mme Tshopo?
Well, she can learn a lot as a person presiding over the legislature of the Free State, but also as a person participating in the Speakers Forum at a national level. But I think maybe it's time for me to take the opportunity to refer to also the sad news relating to the current Speaker of the Free State, who has lost 2 grandchildren at once, who drowned in her swimming pool. So we will be going to support her, because as a Speakers Forum, we operate in that kind of way of supporting one another, celebrating together when it's a moment to celebrate, but also grieving together and supporting one another when one of us has a loss, like Speaker Mbete, who is the current Speaker of the Free State, who will be burying her grandchildren tomorrow.
Yeah, it is indeed a terrible start to the year 2017.
Very bad, very bad.
Now, about Mme Tshopo's legacy, what is it particularly that stood out for you, that you could say that you've actually learned from it?
I think Mme Tshopo was a very easy person to work with. There's nothing as important as us working as part of collectives. Because if you think you are going to achieve things as an individual alone, it doesn't work. So you need to show that in how you are able to relate positively with your colleagues, you are able to contribute proposals and ideas, but also able to listen to other people so that together you build something that can take not just that collective, but the country and the institutions that we lead forward on behalf of South Africans.
All right. Madam Speaker, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Great having you on Morning Live.
Thanks very much. And compliments of the season.
Oh, compliments to you too, Madam
Yes.
Speaker. All the best in the new year.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that was National Assembly Speaker Baleka Mbete speaking to us, or rather paying tribute to Mme Anna Tshopo, who lost her life early on this week. And Morning Live extends their condolences to Mme Tshopo's family. The former Speaker of the Free State Legislature will be laid to rest on Saturday. This is Morning Live. We'll be back with more after this.